For decades, the British royal family has been viewed through a familiar lens. The monarch reigns, the heir prepares, the spare struggles, and the public watches the drama unfold from a distance. But beneath the ceremonial surface, real power inside the monarchy has never worked the way most people assume. In recent years, as public scandals, constitutional pressure, and generational change have reshaped the monarchy, one figure has emerged not through headlines, but through influence, quiet, consistent, relentlessly disciplined. Princess Anne. While attention is focused on King Charles, Prince William, and the ongoing Sussex controversy, Anne has been doing something far more consequential. She has been stabilizing the institution from the inside. Princess Anne has never chased popularity. She has never courted public sympathy. She has never relied on charm, image, or emotional storytelling. Instead, she built something far more powerful over time: trust within the system. From a young age, Anne understood the monarchy not as a celebrity platform, but as a working structure. She approached royal life like a professional obligation rather than a performance. That mindset quietly set her apart. Long before recent crises, Anne earned a reputation inside the palace for being prepared, blunt, and efficient. She showed up, she followed protocol, she respected the institution above individual ego, and crucially, she never embarrassed the crown. That reputation matters more than most viewers realize. When the monarchy enters periods of instability, influence shifts away from symbolism and toward competence. In those moments, the people who understand the machinery of the institution, its rules, risks, and limits, become essential. Princess Anne is one of the few senior royals who understands how the monarchy actually functions when the cameras are off. She has worked with multiple prime ministers. She has navigated constitutional boundaries. She understands how public perception intersects with legal responsibility, and she has maintained close working relationships with civil servants, advisors, and palace officials for decades. That depth of institutional memory gives her authority that cannot be replicated by popularity or youth. As King Charles transitioned into the role of monarch, he inherited not only the crown, but a monarchy under pressure. Public trust was fragile, media scrutiny was intense, and internal family tensions were no longer private matters. In moments like that, leadership is rarely loud. It is precise. Anne's role has expanded not because she demanded it, but because she was already there, steady, informed, and reliable. When decisions required careful handling rather than public statements, Anne became a central voice. She is not issuing decrees. She is not positioning herself as a rival power. Instead, she operates as a stabilizing force, someone who understands when to intervene and when to remain invisible. This is the kind of influence that rarely makes headlines, but shapes outcomes. Anne also represents continuity. She bridges generations within the royal family. She remembers the institutional lessons of past crises. She knows which lines cannot be crossed and which compromises quietly protect the crown. That perspective is invaluable at a time when emotional reactions and media pressure often demand immediate responses. While others react, Anne evaluates. While others explain, Anne enforces standards. And while public attention fixates on dramatic narratives, Anne focuses on structure, duty, and long-term survival of the institution. This is why many insiders now view her as a central stabilizer, not officially in charge, but deeply influential in how the monarchy navigates its most sensitive challenges. And that influence did not appear overnight. It was earned, slowly, quietly, and deliberately. To understand why Princess Anne holds so much quiet influence today, it's important to understand how power actually operates within the royal household. The monarchy is not run like a corporation, and it is not managed like a celebrity brand. It is a constitutional institution bound by tradition, law, and political neutrality. That means not every royal has equal authority, and not every voice carries equal weight. Influence comes from experience, trust, and reliability. Princess Anne has all three. Unlike younger royals, Anne has spent her entire adult life operating inside the system without interruption. She never stepped away. She never rebranded herself. She never blurred the line between public duty and private ambition. That consistency has consequences. When palace officials face complex decisions, particularly those involving public perception, constitutional limits, or reputational risk, they turn to people who understand precedent. Anne understands precedent better than almost anyone still active within the family. She also understands discipline. Anne is known for her intolerance of disorder and improvisation within royal duties. She believes that rules exist for a reason and that bending them for convenience creates long-term damage. This approach has shaped her internal authority. When standards need to be enforced quietly, Anne is often the one trusted to do so. Importantly, Anne is not driven by optics. She does not require public credit. She does not seek validation through media narratives. That makes her especially effective in sensitive situations where visibility would undermine the goal. This is why her influence often becomes visible only after decisions have already been made. Another key factor is Anne's relationship with both King Charles and Prince William. With Charles, Anne shares a generational understanding of duty and legacy. She is one of the few people who can speak to him directly without flattery or fear. That dynamic matters in moments when difficult truths must be addressed. With William, Anne represents institutional continuity. As the future of the monarchy, William benefits from guidance rooted in long-term perspective rather than short-term popularity. Anne's approach aligns closely with the kind of monarchy William is expected to lead: disciplined, restrained, and focused on service rather than spectacle. This positions Anne as a bridge between reigns. She helps ensure that decisions made today do not undermine the monarchy tomorrow. It is also important to understand that Anne's authority does not come from command. She does not issue public ultimatums. She influences through presence and precedent. When Anne expresses concern internally, it carries weight because it is understood to be measured, not emotional. That credibility is rare. In recent years, as the monarchy has faced public controversies, shifting public expectations, and internal family fractures, Anne's role has naturally expanded. Not because she seized control, but because the system leaned on the person most capable of holding it steady. Anne's approach also reflects a deeper understanding of what the monarchy must protect: not individuals, not narratives, but credibility. Once credibility is lost, it is nearly impossible to regain. Anne's insistence on boundaries, protocol, and restraint is not rigidity, it is risk management. She understands that every exception becomes a precedent, and every precedent reshapes the institution. This is why her influence is most visible during moments of tension. When others push for a combination, Anne evaluates consequences. When others consider compromise, Anne considers institutional memory. And when others focus on immediate public reaction, Anne focuses on long-term legitimacy. That is how quiet power operates.
Princess Anne's growing influence signals something important about the direction of the monarchy. It suggests a shift away from personality-driven leadership and back toward institutional discipline. This does not mean the monarchy is becoming colder or more distant. It means it is becoming more guarded. In an era where public figures are constantly pressured to explain, react, and personalize every decision, Anne represents resistance to that model. She believes the monarchy survives not by oversharing, but by maintaining clarity of role. That philosophy is increasingly shaping how the royal family responds to challenges. Anne's presence reinforces the idea that not every issue deserves a public response, and not every controversy can be managed through image repair. Some situations require firm boundaries and quiet enforcement. This approach aligns closely with the monarchy's constitutional role. As public scrutiny intensifies, the institution must rely more on internal coherence than external approval. Anne understands this instinctively. Her influence also prepares the monarchy for generational transition. As King Charles navigates the complexities of reign and Prince William prepares for future leadership, Anne provides something neither public opinion nor advisors can offer alone: lived experience across multiple royal eras. She remembers what worked, she remembers what failed, and she remembers the cost of misjudgment. That memory shapes decisions even when her name is not attached to them. For viewers, Anne's role may feel invisible. She does not announce initiatives, she does not dominate headlines, but her influence can be seen in what does not happen: unnecessary escalation, reactive statements, impulsive concessions. In many ways, Anne's greatest impact is preventive. She helps the monarchy avoid mistakes before they become crises. This does not make her the ruler of the royal family, but it does make her one of its most consequential figures. Quiet authority often outlasts loud power. And as the monarchy continues to navigate modern expectations, Princess Anne's model of leadership, disciplined, restrained, and deeply institutional, may prove to be exactly what sustains it. Not through spectacle, not through popularity, but through steadiness.